Hey, it's Ashley Nicole Kirkwood with the Ashley Nicole Show, where we talk about topics interesting to folks building billion-dollar brands, whether the world knows it yet or not. So I am the podcast host that you want to listen to if you are an entrepreneur, an expert, an industry leader, and you are seeking to build a big brand and you know it's going to impact the world, so you want to protect it. Let's get into it. Good morning. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. Welcome back to the Ashley Nicole Show. I am super excited to talk to you all this morning, and it will not be long because I have a very busy morning to get to and a few corporate presentations that I'm doing. But I wanted to give you guys this information because, look, I was in my Instagram stories earlier dropping a whole word. So I thought it'd be easier to come live. And so I'm going to talk to you all 3 ways your business coach is costing you money. We're just going to go there. Okay, we're just going to go there. And I know a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, what is she going to say? What's going to happen? What's going to happen is what's going to happen. And what I'm going to say is what I'm going to say. I said what I said. Okay, so good morning. Because for every single person who's ever hired a business coach, you know that the purpose of coaching is to make you money, not cost you money. But because when people work outside of their realm of genius, there is a cost to that. We're going to talk about 3 ways your business coach is costing you money. Hey, you're Rich. How are you? Thank you so much. For those of you who are listening to this on the podcast, the Ashley Nicole Show podcast, then welcome. For those of you who are joining me live, seeing this happen in real time, unedited and raw, hello. I hope you are ready to get into it. So let's just get into it. First things first, my name is Ashley Nicole Kirkwood. I am the founding attorney of Mobile General Counsel, the law firm for people building billion-dollar brands. So those are the folks that we represent. We represent business owners who are ready to take their business to the next level, and they want a solid legal foundation to do that. They're ready to grow and take over the world. So they're building billion-dollar brands, whether the world knows it yet or not, whether they're on the Inc. 5000 list yet or not. Those are the folks that I'm talking to. Those are the folks that we represent. Also, I own a speaking coaching company called Speak Your Way to Cash, which does exactly as it sounds. We teach speakers how to land paid speaking engagements. Specifically, we do it a bit differently because with my legal background and speaking background, I am able to teach speakers things like licensing and how to do a speech once, sell it to a company over a long period of time, so an annual licensing fee, and make as much as someone who does 100 speaking engagements does with 1 or 2. That is what I do on the Speak Your Way to Cash side. So if you have any interest in any of that, you're like, okay, all of that sounds good. Where do I sign up? Send me a direct message and I'd be happy to talk to you about either my law firm or my speaking coaching practice. All right. But I want to get into something today. And if it's your first time joining me, let me know in the comments. We're going to get real and raw here. And there's so much going on. So I want to cut straight to the chase. That way I don't waste anyone's time on this good Wednesday morning that we're into. Number 1, I'm just going to go right into it. The number 1 way your business coach is costing you money is they're reductive. And let me explain what that means. Hello to all the new folks joining. First time for me. Lean in. Okay. They're reductive. And so here's what I want to say. If you have a business coach and you go to them and you share your vision with them and the first thing they tell you or the first thing they do to you is try to reduce your vision, they're reductive and they're going to cost you money. And I want to be really clear about what I mean by reductive. That means you come to them with your vision of you want to build a multi-million-dollar business. You want to do X, Y, and Z. You have a huge vision for your company. And instead of them helping you to figure out how that can be a reality in your life, the first thing they do is try to say, oh, well, you got to hold back. You need to make $1 before you can make 10. You need to make 15 before you can make 20. And although those things may be fact, although those things may be the truth, you have to be very careful about people who try to reduce your vision to their glass ceiling. This is a sign of a great mentor. Great mentors will mentor you past their own success. Their entire goal, they're happy for you if you do better than them. They're happy for you if you go further than them. They're happy for you if you get an opportunity that they weren't yet able to land. And guess what? Here's something that's so interesting that I don't think a lot of people fully comprehend or fully understand. I don't think people realize the fact that you can, with your strategies that you teach as a coach, people can take those strategies and do better than you with your strategies. A lot of coaches are surprised by that. They're like, well, how am I teaching them these strategies, but they're going further than me? And so what they then do, if they're not grounded and rooted and extremely and entirely ethical, what they then do is they become reductive. They start to sabotage their client's success because they realize that their clients are going further than them with the information that they provided. And they're mad about it. And you want to know why they're mad about it? Because guess what? I'm going to step on some coaches' toes this morning. I am. Guess what? A lot of coaches do not take their own advice. They just don't. And guess what? I've been guilty. So I am not even coming at people like, you don't even take it. No. A lot of coaches don't always take our own advice. How do I know? This is how I know this. I know this because when I first started my law firm, the first thing I did was I got like my business name trademark, but I had so many different assets. I was doing I still have a DIY trademark class called Get the T on Trademarks. I had all these different assets. And my husband was like, well, you need to trademark everything. And I was like, everything right now? I'm a trademark lawyer. Absolutely. I knew I needed to trademark everything. And guess what? I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. It wasn't that I said, no, I'm not going to trademark everything. No. I said I was going to do it, but I did not do it with a sense of urgency. And guess what happened? Somebody tried to steal my brand. And guess what I had to do? Sue in real life. And so when I say I'm ready to go to war for my clients, that has to also mean I'm ready to go to war protecting my own business as well. So yes, I'm suing, sis. And so we're going through that process today, right now. But I know that it's true that sometimes you will have amazing billion-dollar, trillion-dollar, a limitless amount of potential with your strategies as a coach, but you may not implement them. And you may have a client that comes along and implements everything and gets better results than you. You can't be mad. You have to be excited. You have to be happy for them. But here's how you could tell. You can tell if your coach is reductive because you will get this feeling that they only want you to succeed as long as your success does not. Michelle's like, I'm suing, sis. Yep, sure am. I will sue you. That's real. I'm a lawyer. And not only am I a lawyer, my background, a lot of, trademark attorneys, their background is corporate. They do corporate stuff. I'm a trial lawyer. I loved going to court. Voir dire, suing people, walking up and down, doing cross-examinations. I went to law school to do that. Okay. So I don't got no problems with conflict. But the reality is you have to make sure that your coach is not being reductive. So how do you identify a reductive coach? One, your vision is like, as soon as you give out a big vision, you instantly feel guilty because they start to reduce the vision. Well, I don't know about all that. Now, that's different than them giving you strategy and telling you what you need to do first, second, and third. That's very different. So reducing the vision is like, you're not going to be able to accomplish that. That's not going to work for you. You need a smaller goal. It doesn't look like you'll be able to achieve that. That's reducing the vision. But giving you strategy about what you should do first and maybe biting off something that you can chew and guiding you on capacity, that's not being reductive. However, you do want to make sure that they're giving you strategy and they're supporting your vision and clarifying it for you versus being reductive. When my clients come to me and they're like, I want to make $50,000, or they're like, I think even with contract negotiations, because I own Mobile General Counsel and we do contract negotiations, and they'll say, okay, well, I think I want X dollars, right? And I always double it. I'm like, okay, great. So we need to go in and ask for more. And they're like, really? More? And I'm like, absolutely more. And my goal is to give people that I am stewarding, that have come into my coaching practice or have come into my law firm. And even the new attorney that I've recently hired as of yesterday, she accepted her offer. She's a rock star. I can't wait for y'all to meet her. Even with her, the goal is, okay, you come in here thinking you're going to do one thing, but I need to figure out, what do you really want out of your life? What do you want that vision to look like? Excellent. Okay. How do I steward you to that ultimate vision? How do I steward you to that ultimate goal for your life? How do we co-create a vision for your life that isn't reductive? Because sometimes we reduce our own vision. And the problem with hiring coaches that have no big vision for themselves is that it's hard for them to steward you past what they haven't been able to achieve. It's hard for them to see you in a light greater than what you've come in with because they ain't doing it themselves. So you want to be really, 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 really careful about people who are reductive. And to be clear, there are people who can get you to the next level in your career with their insight, with their strategies, and with their beliefs, even if they haven't gotten themselves there. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they have to get there first and you need to look at their bank account. I think all of that is silly. I think, in fact, it is more telling what you've been able to coach people to than it is what you've done for yourself. Because some people can do it for themselves, but they can't teach. Anybody know anybody like that? I've sat in the room with people who've made this dude was making $28 million a year at a job, okay? And he could not articulate how I could duplicate that process because he was better at doing it for himself than teaching. So it's not always about, what have they done for themselves? Show me your bank account. Well, what have you done? No. Who have you stewarded? Who have you shepherded? How are you leading people to results that they want for their own lives? Where are your testimonials? Where are your results for others? That's going to be better. And then, are you a reductive person? Are you always talking low? Are you always negative? What does your life look like? Does your spouse like you? I mean, how do the people who actually are around you every day, are they inspired by you? Because if not, you can't coach me. If everything around you is jacked up, looking like lack and limitation, you can't coach me. I could still learn from you though, but I'm not allowing you to touch my vision. If this is your first time with me, I did a video that said, someone said like the bomb hairstylist who says look a mess. I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but I did a video recently that was like, some of you are hiring people based on price. Like you're like, oh, who's the cheapest? Let me see who's the cheapest. But in fact, they don't have the capacity to touch your vision. Every single person who you hire, coach, consultant, employee, has to be qualified to touch the vision. And if they are not qualified to touch the vision, I don't care if they're the cheapest one on the market. I'm not giving you access to my intellectual property for you to ruin it with your cheapness. I'm just not doing it. So price is the last piece of any conversation that I have with a client, because I don't work with clients who are penny pinching. You're not coming to me looking for like the deal. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, what's the deal? I gotta make sure I save $1 over here. No. You want to make sure I'm qualified to touch the vision. And in fact, most people who come to me have already read everything, watched all the videos, listened to a podcast or two, and they figured out, okay, she's the real deal. She's like this all the time. I could work with that. So number one, they're reductive. Put reductive in the comments for me. Hey, attorney Ashley Kirkwood here. And I just wanted to give you a quick plug for your business. If you are a business owner or a brand builder, you have a brand and you've never spoken with an attorney about your brand, or you do not have consistent legal counsel now, I want you to head on over to mobilegeneralcounsel.com and book a legal audit or a consultation with my firm, Mobile General Counsel. We handle federal trademark law nationwide, and I'm barred in Illinois to handle additional matters. So if you are someone who is interested in bulletproofing your brand, protecting your brand, ensuring that your brand is guarded, then you need to go on over to mobilegeneralcounsel.com, click on legal services, and book your legal audit or legal consultation today. You can also call the firm at 312-880-8518 if you have any problems booking online. So I'm super excited to talk to you guys. Let's get back into this episode. Number two. Now, this may shock y'all, but we're going to get into number two. The number two way your business coach is costing you money is by giving you legal advice when they ain't got no law degree. And yes, I am a qualified lawyer from Northwestern University, Pritzker School of Law, top of my class. I've written a book. I have represented billion-dollar brands in court and outside of court, but I'm talking about no law degree. I said it just like that because it's true. If your business coach is giving you legal advice, but they will not front the bill for the legal fees that you will acquire by listening to their bad legal advice, they're costing you money. What does that look like? Let's just talk about what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. I have had people come to me and been like, Mike, there's a coach that was like running ads. I don't know what they were doing. And they were like, well, you don't need a trademark. You don't need a copyright. You don't need a contract. All you need to do is go on Google, download something, and it'll work out. You don't need all that. You're not big enough for all that. You don't need all that legal stuff. Name $1 billion business that does not have a contract. I'll wait. Name $1 billion business that does not have an attorney that's qualified. I'll wait. Name one big brand that does not have these solid basic pieces in place. I'll wait. You will not find one. You will not find one. And if you were to Google Coca-Cola today, or if you were to Google Pepsi today, or if you were to Google any of those brands today, not only would you see that they have trademarks, but you will see that the date upon which they received their first trademark was far before they received all this money that we see now. So miss me with, I don't need to protect my brand because it is a small business, because guess what? We are not building small businesses. We are building billion-dollar brands, and you need to operate as such from the outside. Here's the thing. When I see business coaches giving legal advice that is reductive, because that's reductive legal advice. For you to tell someone you don't need a trademark because no one's going to copy your brand is reducing you to someone that is not to be copied. Guess what? Every single trailblazer in the world is copied. Name one that hasn't been copied. I'll wait. If you're doing things right, if you're building a business that is setting a trend, then you are going to be copied. Now, there are some instances in which people copy you, like maybe they do a live video like you, or they do something like you that you're like, I'll let that slide. But there are other assets in your business that are going to make you money make you capital and bring you clients, those are the assets that you cannot afford to allow people to copy. And what do you do when people copy your brand and it's unprotected? You have a hard time proving that they are actually copying you. And here's the thing. That business coach who told you on Monday not to get a trademark, by Friday, your competitor has filed a trademark for your name. And guess what happens? If you didn't file it first, guess who now has a better title to that name across the country? Her. And who are you going to call when now you call Mobile General Counsel and we send you a bill for $15,000 to prosecute this infringement? Is the business coach going to give you the money? No. Now, why would a business coach tell you not to spend money on legal advice? Because they're counting your coins? I'm going to make a bold assertion here. It may be wrong, it may be right, but I am of the mind when people tell you not to hire somebody for something and you're paying them for a service, sometimes it's because they want to make sure you keep enough coin in your pocket so that they can collect. And I'm going to be very, very, very clear about this. If someone is telling you not to protect your brand, it's a problem. Look at them with the side eye because there's one of two things happening. One, either they don't have a big enough vision for their own to protect it, and so they haven't. Or two, they may be a copycat themselves. They may be a copycat themselves. And if it's a vision issue, then they're reductive. Now, if they're just trying to copy other people, then that's a problem. You need a new coach either way. Another thing they do, hey, go download a contract off of Google. Now, here's the thing. We have some basic contract templates for sale. Very basic. It's hard to find them, and I don't even talk about them that much. I did them out of a necessity for a few people who were like, look, I really don't have the money to pay you to draft our own contracts. I do not like contract templates. And people keep asking me, are you going to do contract templates for coaches? Are you going to do this? No, because here's the thing. If you do VIP days and your goal is to make $60,000 for a VIP day, but you paid $300 to download the contract, you are being disingenuous with the universe, disingenuous with your clients, and disingenuous with yourself. You don't create six-figure revenue plans and have $5 contracts to protect the revenue. You just don't. You just don't. And let's be honest here, people. There is something that happens energetically when you start investing real money in your business. You show up bolder, your prices go higher, you start to pay real experts, you get excited about how much you're spending, and you get excited about the opportunities that you're creating for others. I used to have a multi-six-figure revenue goal. Now we have 6 figures of payroll. That's a whole shift. That is an entire shift. We are building a company. And when you start to tell people, oh yeah, we just made an offer for a full-time job offer, and you start explaining the packages and you're negotiating, you're going back and forth. And they're like, the first thing they're thinking is, how do you even afford? Because we make real money over here. You know what I mean? And the reality is a lot of you want to make a certain amount of revenue, but have no goals for how much money you're going to spend. And a lot of you do not know how much it's going to cost you to make that money. But let's be clear. You may be able to start with nothing and make something, but that something becomes the investment for your next level. I'm not saying you don't have a single client and you invest $50,000 in coaching. That doesn't make sense if you don't have it. I'm not saying give me your mortgage payment to pay for a contract. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is you have to start where you're at and grow where you're going. And it may mean uncomfortable investments must be made along the way. But if you have a business coach that is giving legal advice without a law degree, they aren't wise. So you got that issue. Let's start there. They're not wise. You want wise counsel. There's a reason why a lot of biblical principles show up in all these, if you read business books, a lot of those principles are actually biblical principles, right? You want wise counsel. There's comfort in a multitude of counsel. And the reason you need wise counsel, not just counsel, is because counsel needs to be qualified. You don't want everybody in your ear. And you have to filter the information you get through the lens of who's giving it. Who are these people talking in your ear? And does it make sense? It don't make sense for someone to give business advice. The reason I don't come on here and do a program called 10 Tips to Tax Saving Strategies is because I'm not a tax strategist. The only thing you'll hear me talk about as it relates to tax strategies will be those that intersect with the law, because I've had to study that to be competent counsel, right? I'm not coming on here giving us a whole webinar on bookkeeping because I don't do bookkeeping. It's not about the degree. It's about the competency. So you want to be very careful about people who give you advice outside of their proven competency, okay? Now, does that mean every lawyer gives good advice? Absolutely not, which is why you need to qualify them too. Don't trust anybody blindly. That's what fools do. That's why this country is in a bit of a pickle now, because we've trusted counsel that's not wise, that doesn't necessarily have the information. We haven't checked the source. One of the most critical pieces that you do as a young associate at a large law firm, they paid me $200,000 a year at one of my firms to check sources. The main thing I did my first year as a litigator was check the source. Went through every single document and checked the source, figured out who said what, when they said it, in what context were they saying it, what was the qualifications of the person saying it. We are out here on the internet because we want everything fast. We want everything instant. We want everything right now. We're not checking the sources of these people. Okay. I shouldn't get a trademark. Okay. How many do you have? And then you look at their name in the USPTO and it's not trademarked. It's not registered. They don't own it. And so, yes, they're reducing ownership for you because they don't own their own stuff. It's foolish. Don't listen to that. Third way. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. Write down coaches giving legal advice as the second way that people are costing, your business coach is costing you money. Because this third one is going to blow your mind. The third one is going to blow your mind. So if y'all ready for number 3, drop a 3 in the comments. If you're ready for number 3, drop a 3 in the comments. Because this third one gonna hit. It's gonna bless a lot of people, blow the caps off a lot of people. And I'm not coming at coaches. I'm a speaking coach. I am a speaking consultant. I help people do better. But at the end of the day, we got to get rid of this bad stuff out here in the marketplace. And I've committed to showing up and giving you guys the tea on what's really going on out here. Okay, the third way. I'm seeing the number 3s come through. The third way, I'm seeing a lot of 3s. The third way, your business coach reduces your pricing to that which they are comfortable charging themselves. Let me repeat it because this is going to blow your mind. Your business coach reduces your pricing to that which they are comfortable charging themselves. What does this look like? This is so fun for me because I know for a fact that after you all hear this information, you are accountable for it. So you're going to start moving differently and analyzing your coaches differently. And that just means you're going to make more money and get a better result. So here's the thing. Third way, they reduce your pricing to that which they're comfortable charging themselves. You're trying to price your programs. You go to your coach. And let me do this in order. You go to your coach and you tell them your price and they're like, ooh, that may be a little high. That may be a little high. Or they suggest a price. They suggest a price that is reductive to the transformation that you're providing. You got a 10-week program. You got to work 15 hours a week for it. And they're telling you to charge $5,000 a year. Reductive. It's a problem. It's a problem for me. Here's where we have to be very careful with getting coaching and consulting and all that stuff. Here's the thing. We are the business owner, which means I hold and nurture the vision for my company day in and day out. I wake up, I have the vision of my company in my mind. I'm on a roll with that. I hire coaches and consultants, personally, me, to give me ideas, right? That is why I hire excellent coaches, excellent consultants, because they give me ideas. Everyone doesn't have the wherewithal to teach you on pricing. And here's why. Pricing, and I've said this several times, my background before law was sales. Here's the thing about pricing. Your price is based more on your confidence than it is your competence. It just is. If you look at the marketplace and you figure out where people are charging, what they're going for, what they're doing, how they're pricing their offers, it is based more on their confidence, right? It is based more on their confidence than it is their competence, which means you can be an outstanding speaker, but you could still be charging $1,000 per speech. It's a problem. You could be an outstanding educator, but you're still allowing your salary to be $45,000. It's a problem. You could be outstanding at what you do. You could have all the competence in the world, but if you don't have the confidence to ask for more, then that which you receive will be what people give you. Okay? I just hired for a position. We had a budget for it and all that. I was very proud that there was a negotiation that took place. I have to respect that because the fact of the matter is a lot of times we just don't ask. We just don't ask for what we want or what we desire. And there has to be some type of a conversation around pricing. So if your coach, and I've talked to people, I'm like, why are you charging that? And they're like, oh, my coach told me to charge that. First of all, in my opinion, coaches give strategy. Some coaches who are not reductive can also help you with pricing and packaging. That's what we do in the Speak Your Way to Cash community. But there are times when your coach will tell you to charge prices that are too low because that's what they charge for their programs. There have been times when my price structure is higher than my coaches. Does that mean I don't listen to them anymore at all? No, but it means they help me with strategy, but not pricing. So you have to be very, 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 very careful that you don't have a coach that is 1, reductive, 2, giving you legal advice, but 3, giving you pricing advice only based on what they've been able to charge. And so when you come to them saying you want to charge $50K, you want to charge $100K, they get locked. They go into freeze mode because they've never charged that. They don't know how to package that. That confuses them. So you want to make sure the person that you're working with is comfortable with big numbers, but not necessarily all about money. Here is the thing. People who've been around exorbitant wealth, big money, who've seen big deals take place. I used to work with people who made $28 million a year. A year, people. A year. I know for a fact that money isn't even a big deal. I know that money won't buy you happiness. I know that money isn't the catalyst to all success. It isn't the answer to, it can answereth all things, right? But it's not necessarily the key to unlocking your happiness and your peace and your joy, which is the ultimate result that people want. But guess what it does? Oftentimes, money, you can follow someone's trail of money to see what they think of themselves and what society thinks of them. The reason you have to charge more money for your products and for your services, and the reason why I don't allow corporations to pay me pennies to come in and do trainings and consultings and all of that, is because money to an organization, which is who our clients are, their businesses, represents the value that they place on the service. And if I'm coming in to transform your workplace, transform your employees through a keynote speech or address, but you only want to pay me $1,000, you aren't ready for a transformation and I don't have time to waste. So no, you can't come to me and get coaching for $500. No, you can't work with me for less than $10,000. No, you can't come into my law firm and want to pay $100 for a trademark. Absolutely not. Why? Because I'm transforming lives. And so the money is just the exchange that has to take place in order to make sure you're qualified for the transformation that I'm bringing. This is all about service at the end of the day. Money is not a big deal. The reason why you're struggling is because you think money is a big deal. You're like, oh, people don't have money. People don't do money. What am I going to do? This is a hard time. This is a pandemic. And let me be very clear about this other thing. I'm not selling to poor people. I'm not selling to people without. For people who don't have it, I'm not selling to them. They're not my ideal audience. I'm not pandering to people who don't have it. You will never hear me say, go out and take 55 credit cards out so that you can pay for a trademark. I'm not telling you for that. I'm not doing that. I'm not a slumlord with my services. I am selling a high caliber service to entrepreneurs and business owners who are making the best decision for their companies. That best decision includes my services. Those services are at a premium because we're transforming companies. We're building billion-dollar brands. Yes, it costs for that. Hey guys, Ashley Kirkwood here. Super excited to give you this special invitation to join us at our holiday party. My firm, Mobile General Counsel, is hosting a holiday party and award ceremony where we will be recognizing outstanding entrepreneurs who have exemplified resilience in the year of 2020. Now, unless you've been under a rock, you know 2020 has been a challenging year for the world, not just our country, but the world. And so no matter where you're listening, no matter where you're at, this holiday party is 100% free, complimentary, and will allow us to celebrate surviving 2020 and hopefully thriving in 2020 and beyond, right? So come on out and celebrate with us. You can grab your complimentary ticket at ashleynicolekirkwood.com/holiday party. That's ashleynicolekirkwood.com/holiday party. And I hope to see you there. Now, the reason you feel guilty is because, all right, you're selling low but pricing high. What do I mean by you're selling low? Everyone you're speaking to the mindset of someone. You're speaking to the mindset of someone that lives in lack, that lives in limitation, that lives in a poverty mindset, that lives in a business struggling. All your messaging is to people who don't have it. Well, I know you just made your first $100. You want it. That messaging, you're attracting people that have it, because when people talk like that, I scroll right by. I know that message isn't for me. There's a reason why my coaches are always speaking about, rich Black women, wealthiness, things that they can do bigger, uncloned marketing. Like if you look at my circle, the people who I listen to, the language that they use is always up. It's always up. It's always high. If you're having a problem, you feel guilty about selling, it's because all across your Facebook timeline is people saying, I don't have it. I'm struggling. I'm limiting. This pandemic is taking me out. I don't know what to do. I don't have health insurance. I don't have this. Lack. And yet and still, you're still selling to people with lack. All of your messaging has lack in it. Now that's pandering to the poor, and that may be problematic. And for that, you should feel guilty. But if you are speaking up, your message is to business owners who are thriving during this time, even now. Your message is to business owners who are going to make this their Pepsi moment, who are going to continue to thrive even after this. If you don't know what a Pepsi moment is, check my last video, check my last podcast episode, because we talked about how Pepsi was sold for the today equivalent of $350,000, and now it's $1 billion brand. He did it because he was stressed out and struggling during a time of lack and limitation, but he sold that vision, that big vision, for something that was so small because he couldn't see himself past it. Okay? You could be sitting on Pepsi right now. Don't sell your vision. Don't make it reductive. But if you're selling low and pricing high, you're going to feel guilty every day of the week because they don't have it. Speak to your audience. Your audience has money. Your audience is still thriving. Your audience is able to pay your prices. Your audience is able to support your vision. But guess what that requires? It requires you to be in a mental space that I don't care what's going on around me. I am resolved to operate in my highest form of self. So yes, you're going to feel bad if everybody in your DMs is talking about they just need a freebie. Yes, you're going to feel bad. But every single business owner that comes to me, our process before you ever speak to me on a phone is so well oiled that you're not hopping on the phone with me expecting to pay $100 for anything. You're like, okay, it's $10,000 a month for legal services. I understand that. Okay, it's $4,000 for a trademark. I understand that. I've already looked at the website. Your assistant already reached out and told me this. I get it. When companies come to me and they check that box, they don't have a budget for services yet now, they will cancel their own call. Why? Because they understand that I'm coming into their company to transform lives. You may have a lot of speakers. You may have a lot of diversity consultants that come in, but guess what? We're not talking about just changing policies. We're coming into your organization to change people, because as much as I would love to come in and be CEO of a day of these big corporations and change all their racist policies and unjust practices, it's going to be far easier and far more efficient for you to hire me to advise your top performing multicultural executives, and I get their mind right so that they can thrive in any environment, whether their boss gets it together or not. Period. Okay. And so you want to think through, who are you talking to? Well, I don't know. They don't got the budget. Well, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I'm not talking to people that have to give me their last mortgage payment. That's pandering to the poor, and we don't do that. Everyone I sell to has money, period. And does that mean that they're always financially thriving? Does that mean that their bank account is running over, but they have vision? They have vision. They know where they're going. They've budgeted for things. They can make some things happen because they know that not everyone is qualified to touch their vision. And so they're not looking for the cheapest lawyer. They're not looking for the cheapest speaking coach, because guess what? They want results. Okay. And results come from an investment, because there's something powerful about making an investment in your business. Okay. So what we covered: 3 ways your business coach is costing you money. For those of you just joining, you missed a word, but I'm going to leave it up. Number 1, they're reductive. They're reductive. You bring a big vision, they're always trying to reduce it. Number 2, they're a business coach with no law degree, no bar, giving legal advice. Not only is that reductive, but that is also not wise, and it's a problem. And there is a such thing as it being illegal. The unauthorized practice of law is a crime. So there's that. 3, they only allow you to price to their glass ceiling. That's a big one. You come in wanting to do more, they're always trying to get you to do less. So what do you do if you're looking for someone who's not reductive? If you are a business owner and do not have trademarks, do not have contracts, do not have federal copyright to protect your content, you don't have any of that, you need to book a legal audit. Now, this is the only way you're going to talk to myself or an attorney from my firm for a nominal investment. And let's just be real, we're talking a nominal investment here. You need to do a legal audit with myself or an attorney from my firm or a member of our firm. And so you need to go and book that at mobilegeneralcounsel.com. Send me a DM. I think right now it's a holiday special. It's $247. That rate will expire at the end of this year. So I'd go and do it now. I have 3 more left for this month. Go book a legal audit, because you're building a big business. You're building $1 billion brand, whether the world knows it yet or not. So don't let anybody reduce you to, well, you just building a little business. Are you over there still playing with that business? No, we are building big brands, $1 billion brands. We're touching millions, billions, trillions of lives. I'm not even going to reduce it to billion. That feels reductive to me. So you're building a big brand. So here's the thing. Okay. And then I will take, if you have a question, drop questions in the comments, because we have a few more minutes. So drop your questions in the comments. So book your legal audit. The legal audit is for business owners who need a legal foundation for their business. They've been downloading them contract templates, and they know for a fact that's not going to get them to the next level. Okay. 2, if you are a speaker, we are currently enrolling speakers into our private exclusive community, Speak Your Way to Cash Academy. It is going to be a game changer. It already is. The women in this program are speakers who are ready to scale their speaking practices. They're ready to land $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 speaking contracts. They're ready to figure out how to land bigger speaking engagements. And so that is what we cover in Speak Your Way to Cash Academy. And we're having a private training for speakers. You can find that link posted here, but it's AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/apply. DM me for any additional information. 3, we're having a holiday party. Here's the thing. This year has been a lot. It's been a lot whether your business is doing well or not. It's been a lot collectively. And so what we decided to do at Mobile General Counsel, because we're always looking for ways to serve, is we decided to throw a holiday party, a virtual holiday party. Everyone can attend. And what we're going to be doing at that holiday party is giving out resilience awards to our clients, multi-six and seven-figure business owners who have thrived even during a pandemic. They are current or former clients of the firm. They are inspiring their audiences. They are killing it and crushing it. And so we're going to recognize them and bring them up for a panel discussion. I will be announcing more of the awardees as time goes on. But just so you all know, these folks have built like tremendous brands that have impacted so many lives. And so we are going to honor them. And we're going to end this year in a celebratory fashion. And so the order of the day, that holiday party is 100% free. So just go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/holiday party or click the link in my bio to register for that. But here's what we're going to be doing at the holiday party. I am going to be giving an entrepreneur's address. Okay, because we need some inspiration going into 2021. So I'm going to be bringing the heat. And then we are going to have a panel discussion of these resilience awardees. We're going to give them their awards, and then we'll do a little bit of networking so people have some time to connect and talk and get that out. But if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for strategies, if you're looking to find out not only how have people survived 2020, but how can you thrive in 2020 and 2021, you need to be at the holiday party. It's going to be off the chain. I think we have 100 or so seats. So make sure you get in for the holiday party. It's going to be phenomenal. But I want you all to remember this. Take this with you for the rest of the day. Nobody can reduce you to a box if you don't let them. And everyone is not qualified to touch the vision. If you realize that everyone is not qualified to touch the vision, just drop a visionary in the chat. Drop visionary in the chat. I'm excited to see these visionaries come through. And if you know that not only is a $1 billion brand possible in theory, but it is possible for you, I want you to put BBB in the chat. Billion dollar brand. Just put BB in the chat, or put me in the chat. Put me in the chat for those of you who are joining live. I'm so thrilled that you all joined me for this next episode of the Ashley Nicole Show. I know we got into some stuff, went off on some tangents, but hopefully this was helpful. If this was helpful, just say helpful in the comments. If you're going to be joining me again, just put you'll be joining me again in the comments, and I'll be letting you guys know when we go live again. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Keep in mind, 3 ways your business coach is costing you money. 1, being reductive. 2, business coaches without law degrees and licensed to practice giving out legal advice. And 3, they're only letting you price to their ceiling. That's a problem. All right. We're going to handle those issues. And if you're looking for speaking, coaching, and all of that information, and you want to work with me, send me a message. I can let you know how we can do that. If you're interested in me doing a corporate presentation at your company, we have 2 signature speeches, the currency of confidence and the love method of communication. I would love to chat with you about what that looks like. But yeah, have an awesome day. And no matter what happens, just know your purpose is set. It is set and growing. No matter what goes on, you can still make it even now. All right. All right, talk to you guys later. Thank you so very much for tuning in to the Ashley Nicole Show yet again. Do me a favor and give this podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating. It helps us to continue to bring on excellent guests and information and ensure that we are giving you exactly what you want, exactly what you need. If you want to stay connected with me and join my mailing list, just go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, click on the Connect with Us tab, and you will see all the links there to join my email list, grab some freebies, and some other cool stuff too. So hopefully you can do all of that, and I will see you guys next time.